everyone, and welcome to another edition of Bad Movie ASMR. Um, I am trying not to do a bunch of Lifetime movies, but this particular movie we're doing today keeps showing up on my Netflix, and uh, it's Netflix knows me very well, apparently, because it keeps like shoving this movie in my face. And it's like, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this. So finally I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So sorry guys, I'm doing another Lifetime movie, but they are like kind of the easiest to make fun of. And they're a lot of fun in terms of just bad movies or whatever. Um so basically I am using a new webcam, which seems to have trouble focusing. And then I've got my little Blue Yeti microphone here, so stepping on up. Hope you all are doing well today. And the movie I'm doing today is called Home is Where the Killer Is. And I knew this was a Lifetime movie, even though I found it on Netflix because it's a Mar Vista production, and they do all the Lifetime movies. So, and of course, after watching it, I'm like, that was a Lifetime movie. So I'm sure it was on TV at some point. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. I don't necessarily recommend it. It's not one of my favorites, but in terms of bad movies, but I'll tell you what happens. So get comfortable, because we're going to talk about Home is Where the Killer Is. First of all, the font in the beginning of it, it's so strange because, okay, so like imagine the words on the screen, home is where the killer is. For some reason, they emphasize the words is, the, and is in this title. They were bigger than the other words. When you would think it should be the other way around, I would emphasize the words home, where, killer. Is that just me? So we're already like, oh God, we're in for a ride. Um, so it opens with the main character, or no, not the main character, some girl named Alice, and she's being rushed into the ER by her landlord, and the landlord tells the doctors, she's having a hepatic failure, hepatic failure, hepatic failure. Now I don't really know what that is, but according to the landlord, why is your landlord taking you to the hospital? I don't understand, but okay. Landlord's like, oh yeah, this girl's has Hep C, and she's a meth addict, and like literally, like when they get to the hospital, like they're like, I've never seen a hospital act this fast. Like as soon as they walk in or come in, they're like, she needs some help, like help her, and like all these people come rushing out to help her. Which in reality, if you've ever been in the ER, like it doesn't matter if your neck's been fucking slit. Like you're gonna be waiting a good 3 hours. You're gonna be bleeding all over the lobby, and they got other people in line before you, and you're just gonna be there for a while. So wherever this hospital is, I'd like to go. Now, back home, the landlord kind of cleans up this like home hospital setup where there's like a hospital bed and supplies and that sort of thing. So, yeah. So, what happens next? Then we cut to, you know, this blonde and this redhead who meet up in a bar, which sounds like the beginning of a joke, but the whole movie's a joke. So, um, and okay, so like, uh, there's like this hot guy there that hits on like one of them or something. I think like the blonde who I is the protagonist, I believe. Um, As you can tell, I remembered a lot about this movie because it was so interesting. Interesting. Um, they turn down this really hot guy, and it's like, what? And so we find out the main character's name is Nicole, and I don't know if it's the hot guy. No, it's her redhead friend who's like, seriously, you look great after all you've been through. And so Nicole comes to Dr. Thompson's house, which is the landlord from earlier. So the opening scene is supposed to be separate, I guess, in the future. And yeah, so it's kind of like a weird thing because they don't say like 9 months previous or something, or maybe they do. And I didn't catch it. Um, so whatever. Nicole, the main character, comes to Dr. Thompson's house, who's the landlord, who apparently is also a doctor, because she wants to check out like this new apartment. And apparently Nicole has cancer because she mentions having like radiation treatments. And then Dr. Thompson, who's a female, is at first reluctant, but then lets her in to see the new place. And it's like, okay, like you have cancer or had cancer and you're in recovery, so come on and check it out. You've been through enough, basically. Um, so Thompson is retired and angry at the world and is like, tells Nicole like the world just needs to give you a break. So I guess she's kind of like projecting because she feels the same way about her own life. I mean, we could all use a break. I apologize for the autofocus thing. It's a new camera. I'm not using my iPhone this time because it was just such a pain in the ass trying to get it from point A to point B to point C. So basically she's gonna rent a room in like this really big house, and cut to she's moved in. So apparently that worked out. And the doctor walks in like, are you crying? You were crying. I heard crying. Nicole's like, no, like WTF, like I wasn't crying. And then the next day, Nicole's ex, who by the way is hot, the guys are always hot in these movies. They can't act that well, but I mean, given the material they have to work with in the script, I don't think it's necessarily their fault. So, yeah, so her ex shows up on a motorcycle to drop off some shit. And Nicole and Dr. Thompson kind of bond over Downton Abbey. I've never seen Downton Abbey. People say it's great. I've never seen it. But they both apparently really like this show. So they have something in common. And let's see. Okay, and then Nicole's like a total B word the next day toward her redhead friend who's like busy at work, and she's like mad. I guess because like she's not picking up her phone or something, and the redhead's like, "I'm at work. Like, get a job." Okay, so that's page one. Let's see what happens next. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. So, oh, actually, it's not Thompson. It's Thomason. Dr. Thomason. Although I'm almost positive, because I watched it with subtitles, that that they spelled, even the subtitles spelled it Thompson in the beginning, and then it turned into Thomason later. So I don't know if I'm just remembering incorrectly, or if even the transcriber was like, what? Because Thompson's more common than Thomason. So I guess that's what we heard, but... so Dr. Thomason accompanies Nicole to the doctor's office, and the doctor's like, why are you asking for your prescription 7 days early? And, like, as a doctor should, make sure that she's taking her medication as prescribed. Why is she here for something that she should have more meds for? And then Thomason, like, kind of gets in his face and is like, dude, she just finished radiation. Give her what she wants. And I guess the doctor complies, even though it's like, who's this? Like, like who has someone go in with them to see the doctor, especially like your landlord slash roommate? I get that she's a doctor, and doctors might have more like sway over another doctor, but I don't necessarily get it. I wouldn't have her go to the doctor with me, even if I did have cancer. And also, the actress who plays the landlord or whatever, she, like, I'm sure she's a very nice lady in real life. However, she kind of like just looks evil, so she plays the part very well because she's got the right face for it. Like, if I saw her and I was like renting an apartment, I'd be like, "Ooh, she's trouble." She just has that face, like drama, and I don't need it. That I don't need that in my life. So, no more drama. Um, so then they're at the dinner table, and then Nicole gets like a text or something, and Dr. Thomason's like all pissed off, like phones should be banned at the dinner table, and then they kind of get on the topic of like, where was Kyle during your cancer treatment? And then that conversation moves into Thomason admitting that she had a daughter with her ex-husband named Emily, um, who died of cancer at 22 years of age. So the next day, we finally find out Dr. Thomason's name is Julie. I don't think they ever mentioned her name was actually Julie up until now. She was just Dr. Thomason. It's like, imagine like calling your roommate Dr. Thomason instead of Julie. Your name is fucking Julie, bitch. I don't see you practicing medicine anywhere. Okay, you're a landlord now. And I used to be an apartment manager myself in West Hollywood. And let me tell you, that is no picnic. It seems like it would be a cool job, but it's so not. Like, your work is constantly around you. You're constantly surrounded by people just wanting things from you. You can't leave. You're on call 24/7. It's not worth it if you live on site. So, okay, so the next day, Dr. Julie is like, hey, my friend Patricia needs a new hire at her antique shop. And meanwhile, Julie is back home, kind of like snooping through Nicole's things. So it's like, okay, suspicions confirmed, she's crazy. I mean, I took one look at that face and already knew. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but I say in a Lifetime movie, definitely judge it by its cover because it's usually right. I'm never surprised by how these movies go. Okay, so then we find out like the redhead who's friends with the main character is named Lauren. We're just not getting everyone's names. Excuse me. I just ate some chili at my mom's. It was really good. So she introduces. So yeah, the main character introduces Lauren to Julie, and Julie's like not interested, probably a little bit jealous. And Lauren tells the main character, what is the main character's name? Nicole. Lauren tells Nicole like, dude, Julie is icy. And Julie's like listening in. She's got her smartphone, and apparently like she planted a bug. She planted a bug in the room, so she's able to like spy on Nicole whenever she wants through her smartphone. And but I mean, okay. They're both little snoops as far as I'm concerned, because later Nicole sneaks into Julie's office and steals a bunch of prescription note, like the prescription notepads. She steals like a bunch of papers from it so she can write her own prescription. So obviously she's addicted to something that they gave her for cancer. I'm assuming like some kind of like morphine or pain management type of thing. I don't know. And then Kyle shows up and makes out with Nicole on her neck. And he's like, I miss you. And Nicole's like, Kyle, you have to go. Get out of here. So she shuts the door. And then later, Nicole thinks she's being followed down the street. So, like, she's walking down the street and she's kind of like, who's following me? What's going on? And uh, I wrote, runs into work with Patricia's coffee. So she took the job at the antique store with Patricia, which is Dr. Julie's friend. And Patricia goes to, I wrote down on my notes Pat. I kind of just want to call her Pat because I think it's cooler than Patricia. I'm sorry if my little teacup is making noise. Maybe some of you guys like that sound, right? So yeah, what happens then? Julie's house, or okay, so Patricia goes over to Julie's later and says something like, "She's a lot younger than Alice." So the person we saw in the beginning movie actually was Alice. So this is later, not earlier. That's why I got confused because it didn't say on the thing. Usually they kind of spell these movies out for you. It's not like I'm watching a Quentin Tarantino movie. I can watch like things that are non-linear, but this needed something to kind of like tie it together a little bit, in my opinion. So Julie's like, "What did you tell her?" And Patricia's like, "Nothing, I swear." And then of course, later on, Julie continues to spy on Nicole via her smartphone. Next page. It's gonna be the next page, you guys. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So later, Nicole gets like a too late party invite from a friend. So like she wants to go to the party, but it's too late. So Julie's like, "Fuck it, like let's just go out dancing at the club. We'll have our own fun time. You don't have to go to that party because you know, we'll do our own thing." Which, that's nice. So Pat and Nicole go to the club. Or wait. So Pat and Pat. Okay, sorry. So Patricia and Lauren both show up to the club as well. So we've got Nicole, main character, Julie, the doctor, Lauren, Nicole's best friend forever, and oh god, and then Lauren, or not Lauren, but Patricia, who is friends with the doctor. So if that makes any sense. But so we got like two sets of friends who don't really know each other that well, but Patricia and her, has her friend, and Nicole has her friend. So, so Julie's kind of like gossiping to Nicole and says something like, Lauren thinks she's too good for you. I don't know where she got that out, like where she pulled that out of her ass, because like Lauren's been nothing but nice. So obviously, like, Julie's jealous. Sorry, but you're jealous. And so there's like a lot of crazy music, dance music. They're doing shots, and Julie's kind of looking like a psycho. She's just got like a crazy stare on her face like this, and just like, I don't like this very much. Like she's just, I don't know. Like every other Lifetime movie, she's got an obsession problem. And then she like starts throwing a fit with the bartender. So she takes it out on somebody else, I guess. Customer service, let me tell you. So anyway, like later on, at home, Julie opens up about her daughter's death. Her daughter's name was Emily, and apparently she quit medicine because she couldn't save her own child. So that's why she's no longer practicing as a medical doctor, is because she couldn't save her kid. But I don't know. It's probably this woman gives me like Munchausen's by proxy kind of vibes. So I'm like, you probably killed your own daughter. Let's be honest. And because oh wait, okay. So Lauren confronts Julie And she's like, I saw you throw a drink at the bartender. That's what happened at the bar. She actually threw a drink at the bartender, which is like the last person you want to throw a drink at. And I've thrown my fair share of drinks in the past, okay? I'm saying this as someone who has thrown a drink or two or 10. Um, but you never throw it at the bartender. That's the guy who's giving you the drink to throw. Come on. Use some common sense here, lady. And then Julie's like, I'd kill anyone who hurt Nicole. And she tells this to Lauren, and Lauren's like, so would I? It's very strange. So Julie tries to plant the idea in Nicole's head that Lauren is sleeping with Kyle, Nicole's ex-husband. And it turns out that Kyle shut down after Nicole's cancer scare, and she doesn't really blame Lauren for flirting with him, and kind of plays sick to get her to go away. Like, she's just like, okay, Julie, like, thanks for the tip, but, I'm good. I don't feel well. Go away. And then later at work, Lauren's like, Lauren, like, calls Julie and is like, I just Googled Julie Thomason. There's something off about her, so just be careful. There is something off with Dr. Julie. So yeah, total red flag. Nicole confronts Julie and tells her not to go through her stuff. Like, she finds out like that Julie was snooping. And Julie says that it was the maid. She's like, I didn't go through your stuff. It was the maid. Like, the maid did it. Then, okay, next page. Then she mentions, clap back right here. Oh, that's my dog. My dog's butt over there in the background. Oh no. Isn't she cute? That's my little Build-A-Build. Hi, baby. She's taking a meow. Okay. So she's probably been walking around here. I didn't notice. Anyway, yeah, that's Tilda. That's my dog. She's the best. She's deaf and like partially blind and a total handful, but I just love the shit out of her so much. Oh, okay, so here's the clapback. So whenever Nicole's like, I don't want you snooping through my stuff, Julie's like, I didn't snoop through your stuff, it was the maid. And then Julie's like, oh, and by the way, I think the maid may be stealing from my prescription pad. So like, Julie knows that Nicole stole from her prescription pad. And then later Kyle shows up again, for an ex-husband. This guy just keeps showing up randomly. Not that I have a problem with it, he's good looking. Kyle shows up and has sex with Nicole. So they have like, I guess, a Ross and Rachel thing going on. And Julie's like watching all of this go down like on her smartphone. So she's being a total perv. She's like watching her roommate have sex with her ex-husband. It's like, honey, just turn on some porn if you need to get off or something. You don't need to be watching this. That's an invasion of privacy. Find yourself a nice porn star exhibitionist who likes that sort of thing and watch that. Then they have like this kind of like post-coital talk about how Kyle has been unfaithful and that's apparently why they're no longer together, so I don't know why she's having sex with him. Again, it's a Ross and Rachel thing. Maybe they were on a break. We were on a break. So anyway, the next day at the antique store, there's like, I keep hitting the table. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get better as we go. Okay, you're watching me learn how to do this stuff in real time as I'm doing it all. Each week is me just trying to get better and figuring out what works and what doesn't. So I hope I'm entertaining you, and if I'm not, I hope I at least make you calm enough to go to sleep. I was falling asleep during my last ASMR, dude, so it's totally okay. So yeah, anyway, next day at the antique store, the creepy stalker from earlier shows up, like, please, I need to talk to you. And then I wrote in parentheses, did I include him in the previous notes? If not, this is their second encounter. His name is Benjamin Keene, and he's the brother of Alice. And he tells her, you're not safe in that house. Ben later confronts Julie that she killed his sister, and despite claims of drug addiction and overdose, like the whole Hep C meth addiction thing that we saw in the beginning, he's like, that's bullshit and you know it. That's bullshit and you know it. Okay, Mom. So, of course, oh God. So, you know, Julie denies. So Nicole hears this, and Julie denies everything to Nicole. Julie says that meth killed Alice. And Nicole's pissed that Julie never told her about this, and just kind of needs to like take some time to process. She's like, okay, like this whole thing's just getting a little bit weird. Yeah. And so Julie confronts Patricia later, like, how dare you mention Alice to Nicole? So I guess that's how Nicole like found out about Alice in the first place, was through Patricia. And so Julie's pissed because she's like, I know that you're the one who said something. And then meanwhile, Lauren's like, you've been pushing me away and I'm upset, to Nicole, which is funny because like earlier in the movie, Nicole's upset with Lauren for pushing her away, even though like Lauren was just at work. So it's like, you're not a very good friend. I don't want to be friends with any of these people, to be honest. Actually, I would probably be friends with Lauren. She seems pretty level-headed, but the rest are like, oh. Nicole confides in Julie about Lauren and Kyle, because Julie had planted the idea that they're fucking, and then Julie's just like, just picture your life without them, because she wants complete control of Nicole. Ooh, that rhymes. Complete control of Nicole. Next page. Okay, so Nicole finds a 3-week severance check in Julie's office. And we cut to the hospital. Nicole's in bed. I guess she was kind of like a little shooken by what might be a cancer scare. Yeah, I'm trying to read my chicken scratch notes. No, that's just it. I have terrible handwriting. As you can see, this is what I'm trying to read right now. Doesn't show up that well. Okay. So anyway, blah blah blah. Nicole's in the hospital or something, and then like Nicole apologizes to Julie for snooping and admits stealing the prescription pads. Once she's feeling better, she goes to see Kyle and discovers he actually is having an affair with Lauren. So the doctor wasn't lying about that. And I don't know, it's possible that the doctor actually knew the truth of that and just figured it out on her own. I don't know. She's already spying on her roommate. Why wouldn't she be spying on the roommate's best friend? Oh yeah, she finds out they're having like an affair, even though like she catches them not in the act. They're fully clothed, so it's like, but it's true though. And so Lauren tells her off, and in doing so, this makes Julie and Nicole closer. Uh-oh. And I wrote in parentheses, Altadena. I don't know like where they filmed this at, but it looks like Altadena, which is like a suburb of LA, like outside of next to Pasadena. So I don't know. It just looked like Altadena to me. They make good milk. Sorry to all the vegans out there. Okay, so Lauren's like, I'm sorry at the door. When I guess Julie goes over to like get in the middle of all this, like she has a new place, but she goes over there. Lauren's like, I'm so sorry, and Julie's like, you're a slut and a liar. You're a slut and a liar, bitch. So that happens, and then slams the door. at this point in the movie, there's like only 18 minutes left, and here's where like everything actually finally happens. This movie is like walking through sludge to get through. It's just not. It needs to pick up the pace. Okay, so so then later, Julie storms into Patricia's office at the antique store and is like, "Who needs me with Nicole around?" And that's what Patricia says. And then she accuses Julie of trying to relive her experience with Alice and Emily. So Julie shoves Pat into a work table and kills her like face first. She's just like, hopefully that wasn't too loud. Sorry. She's like, bam. Okay, just like killed her. And then crazy Dr. Julie's like, "You're not going to ruin this for me. You're not going to ruin this for me." Later, Nicole's crying, believing that Patricia died falling off a ladder. So I guess that's what she's been told by Dr. Julie, was that she fell off a ladder at the antique shop, but really her face was smashed into a table at work. But that's the thing about antiques; they have good stories. I bet that Patricia's haunted residual energy is going to be attached to that table for decades to come, and anyone who buys it will be getting hauntings from Patricia. That's not what happens in the movie. It's just what I'm guessing. Yeah. So, so after like Nicole's crying, thinking that Pat died falling off a ladder, and like, and Dr. Julie's all like casual, like, "Well, let's catch up on an episode of Downton Abbey." And so Nicole's like, "Patricia just died. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, you want to watch Downton Abbey right now? Like, I thought this was like your best friend, and I'm crying, and you're not." Very strange. So Nicole leaves while Julie has kind of a jump scare, and she's like, "I'm going to the store. Need anything?" But Nicole meets with Julie's ex-husband. How? I don't know. I don't know how she. I mean, they were snooping, but as far as we saw, she only took the prescription pads. I don't know how she got in contact with the ex-husband. He hasn't ever been in the picture, never mentioned, as far as I can recall. And I mean, yeah, she definitely didn't get it from her phone, because if she did, she would know that this woman's been spying on her on that phone. So Julie's ex-husband tells Nicole like that he was kept away from their daughter, and he's kept away from their daughter Emily, and that Julie may have something to do with it. So Lauren shows up at Nicole's, and she's worried, and like she just feels like something's going on, that like intuition's kicking in, like I don't something's going on here. So she kind of like lets herself in and writes a note to her in her bedroom diary. I think like if you're gonna write a note to somebody, you don't open their diary and write a note in it. Also, who keeps a diary in like 2019, which apparently according to Netflix is when this movie came out. It is new. It's fairly new. It is new, and that's kind of strange. And she realizes somehow, oh yeah, through a teddy bear, that Julie's been spying on Nicole, and she's got like a nanny cam in the teddy bear inside the room, which is where it always is. It's always inside the toy. Elf on the shelf. Elf on the shelf. So anyway, blah 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 blah. Julie's standing behind Lauren as she's making this discovery. Dun dun dun. And that's right. Nicole's like, "I'm ready to move. This isn't working out." She tells Julie this, and Julie's like, "Well, who's going to take care of you when your cancer comes back?" Who the fuck says that to somebody? A psychopath, that's who. So, okay, sorry about that. I accidentally hit a button or something on my computer, and it caused the whole thing to stop. I'm an older millennial, so like I remember a time before the internet and smartphones when you actually just had to go outside and play and not know the answers to anything. Sorry, I lit a cigarette in the meantime. It's gross, I know. It's a terrible habit. Don't ever pick up smoking. Just pretend like it's 1999 and I'm Sarah Jessica Parker smoking in her apartment, wondering why does anybody like me? That show did not age well, I can tell you that much. Okay, so I'm not going to age well either with this fucking cigarette, I can tell you that, but you know, we all have our vices. So, okay, so blah 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 blah. Let me get back to where I was at before I accidentally screwed everything up, as I normally do, trying to do these things. We're learning. It's a learning process. We're gonna get it. So, um, who's gonna take over when your cancer comes back? Blah blah blah. And then the doctor calls Nicole, and the doctor's name is Doctor. Her doctor's name is Doctor Fredericks. And I wonder if like the person who wrote the screenplay like has seen the movie The Elephant Man, the David Lynch movie, because I don't know. Frederick Elms was the name of the doctor in that movie, so Dr. Fredericks. I don't know if that's a throwback or if I'm just like reading too much into things, which is it's probably the latter case. And Dr. Fredericks said ran a blood test or something. He's like, Nicole, you just tested positive for arsenic. 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 And so Julie's kind of inquisitive, like, well, what did the doctor tell you? And you know, Nicole's like, oh, it's just about my CAT scan results or something like that. And that's when Julie like turns and she's like, you're a lousy liar. Boom. Julie starts beating Nicole over the head. Like she's in like full murder mode at this point. And you know, she wakes on a hospital bed at home, like we saw it before, like the home hospital bed, and Julie's like acting as her nurse and taking her blood pressure, even though she's the one who put her in that fucking bed in the first place. Psycho. And Nicole's like, "What the hell?" And Julie like admits, you know, she's like, "Emily, Alice, you. It's what I was born to be, a caretaker." So yeah, it's got to be like a Munchausen's by proxy sort of thing. That's what I'm gonna think here, even though like Nicole's not her daughter, but apparently the other people she killed were or something. And then she says like when Emily got better and left, I couldn't let her go. I couldn't let go of the bond that we shared. So now we're nearing the end of the movie. This is the last page. So you can get back to your life. And I can get back to mine. I just needed her sick enough to need me. Boom, there's your Munchausen's right there. I just needed her sick enough to need me. And I wrote like in all caps, Munchausen's by proxy with 3 exclamation points. And Alice, you're sick. She accidentally calls her Alice. And she's like, I'm going to keep you safe from like the Alex and the Laurens of the world. You know, her best friend and her ex-husband. I'm going to keep you safe from them. Oh, okay. Like you just like knocked me out and put me in a hospital bed, and you're the one who's keeping me safe. Okay. So Nicole jumps out of the bedroom into another room and locks it. So I guess this doctor wasn't smart enough to actually like most of the time they have like some kind of like sedative injection. So if somebody tries to get up and out, they're like, no, you're not going anywhere. We're going to keep you down, just like Audrey in Twin Peaks while we're on the topic of David Lynch. Like, we're just going to like pump you full of sedatives so that you can't move. Or heroin or something. I don't know what they give Audrey in Twin Peaks, but something like that. And then, so whatever, Nicole's out of the bedroom. She runs to another room, locks the door. And Julie breaks in, and there's some other girl there, and I just wrote, were there some other girls there, question mark? Who is this person? I don't know. And Nicole finds something to stab Julie with. I think it's like a letter opener, like a fancy letter opener. And then she runs down the stairs, and a cat fight ensues, and they're both like just that sort of thing. And Nicole's being strangled like hardcore, and then she grabs like a vase or a vase, depending on how you pronounce it. I say vase because I'm not pretentious like that. And knocks out Julie with it over the head. And she's like, "You crazy bitch! You crazy bitch! You crazy bitch!" Uh, and then after that, Nicole like jumps awake, and she's in an ambulance truck or car or whatever you call it. She's in an ambulance, and there's a hot guy who's like the emergency responder. I don't know why I felt the need to include that, but it has nothing to do with anything besides the fact that he's hot. Then Patricia shows up alive in a blanket. So we thought Patricia was dead, but she's actually alive. So she must have survived that ladder fall. Um, and she kind of just tells her, "You're going to be all right, darling." Cue the credits. That's the end of the movie. I mean, where's Lauren? Did she get killed? I don't know what the hell. But anyway, that is Home is Where the Killer Is. Um, I don't recommend it. However, if you do love bad movies, especially bad Lifetime movies, then, maybe give it a try. You might like it. Um, and I hope you had fun watching this. I had fun making it. And hope you all had a very happy Halloween. And I will be back soon for maybe I'll find something like Thanksgiving centered or something. We'll see. And we'll go from there. So have a great day/night, everybody. And thanks for tuning in and watching and for all the lovely comments. And you guys are great. So thanks. I'll see you later. Bye.